What's going on, everybody? Welcome to another episode of the Rideshare Hub. My name's Greg. Hope you guys are all doing okay. I've heard lots of good things about certain states opening back up. I've heard lots of bad things about how it still isn't the best driving conditions yet. Just have faith, guys. Eventually, it's going to all jump back to normal. We just got to keep giving it time, So, in the meantime, a lot of you guys have been asking me about Survey Junkie. We've been talking about that in a lot of videos. So a lot of you were wondering about screenshots, what I've actually made. I talked about how I've really done Survey Junkie for like 4 years. On and off, for the last 2-3 years, I didn't really touch it much, but especially when I first started driving Uber and Lyft, I was doing this stuff pretty often because I was in a stage where I just had to do anything I could to make money, So in between rides, I was filling out surveys. Any speck of free time, I was filling out surveys, and you're not making massive, incredible money, but for me at least, a lot of times it was that extra little bit that I usually needed. Most of us have learned from Uber and Lyfting over the years that you never are making as much as you think you are. You cash out $200-300, but after gas and the food you ate on the road and everything else, it always seems like you never have quite as much money as you think you should. So I've always had the mindset of I will do whatever I have to do, whatever little things I can to kind of put me over that edge, right? So let's bring up some of these screenshots so I can show you guys what I've done. So lifetime, I've got $342.11, and that's 34,211 points. Now that's a lot of surveys. Like I said, I've filled out a lot. But I went through phases where I did this really consistently, and then I went through phases where I didn't. So if you do it consistently, you can easily hit numbers like that way faster than I did. I was just doing it in my spare time, and I think that's honestly how most people should do it. But if I had kept up with this really over the years, it would probably be like 10 times that. I just didn't. As I started making more money with Uber and Lyft, and then as I started my own business, I just had less and less of a need for this. But I still whipped this out, especially with all this alone time we've all had. I've been watching excess amounts of Netflix and Hulu and Amazon Prime, and it felt wrong for me to not be somewhat using that time and maximizing my earnings some way, somehow, right? So that's why I think this is a great app to have, because it's right from your phone. It's super easy. It's literally as simple as you whip it out and you start doing surveys, and you save up those points, and you use it on anything you want. You cash out for gift cards, you cash out for PayPal points. I think they'll even send you a check in the mail, so there's so many different ways you can utilize it. You just got to dig into it. So more than anything, I'm encouraging you guys, before I even continue, go download it. Links in the description. Fill out your profile. It doesn't take that long, and you get points for doing that. There's 5 or 6 personality profiles, they call them, and they're just asking you basic questions about your life to see what kind of surveys you qualify for. Now, when you do this, the important thing is that you don't just try and fly through it and skip through it, because you want to make sure you qualify for as many as possible. So if you're just clicking I'm not sure or do not say for every answer, you're not going to qualify for any surveys. So you need to actually be really truthful about products you've used, the lifestyle you live. I answered it to the T as far as my income level, what I do, the vehicle I own, how often I drink, or whatever else, because those questions that they're asking are going to dictate what ones you can and can't do. And there's some where you can get paid a good amount of points if you submit additional information. So a lot of the ones about your cell phone carrier, if you're willing to submit a screenshot or a picture of your bill, you're going to get a lot of points for a low amount of time. And if you get really strategic about it, you can really make some halfway decent money in a week if you give it enough time. Ideally, if you're looking for 60 to 100 points per test or per survey, and hopefully it's under 20 minutes to do it. So the best ones are under 10 minutes and you get over 60 points. Usually for those, you do have to submit some additional information, but whatever, right? So 342 $13.11. I currently have $12 to cash out. Obviously, I've used those points over time. But even this morning, I think I did 6 surveys and made over 300 points. So quick few bucks, you know. And my thing is like, I don't look at it as oh, well, that's what you make per hour with something like this, because I'm not getting up each day and mapping my work schedule, you know, around doing 8 hours of surveys. I'm just throwing these in whenever I can, you know. So that's the way to look at it. And I mean, really a quick $3 to $5 even, I think, is always something that's like, why not, you know, especially if it's really no output of effort. So you're sitting in between rides when what are you doing? Scrolling through Instagram, going through Facebook, you know, doing stuff that doesn't matter. Could be making a few extra dollars, right? So that ends up being 34,211 points. And those types of numbers can actually be hit like relatively easily. If I had been a lot more consistent with it over the years, I would guess that I'd probably be at 5 or 6 times that, you know. So I mean, you're talking that I might have made upwards of over $1,000 just in random free time, you know. So I'm going to leave the video at that. I don't want to drag it out too long, but I'm really encouraging you guys to check this out, especially with all this alone time. This is just a quick, easy way to make some extra money. There's really no reason you don't at least look into it. It takes like 20 minutes to set up a profile, and you can probably have at least $5 to cash out in a matter of 2-3 hours of just doing the basic surveys and filling out your profile. So like I said, link in the description. Make sure you check that guys out. Make sure you guys check that out. Dyslexia at its finest. Like and subscribe, and I will talk to you guys soon.